What does shareholder value have to do with you, your personal economy? We've been hearing a lot this election season about concerns, like how am I going to pay my rent, have a family, pay off all my student loans, own a home, go on vacation, retire? The American dream. Have the wheels come off?
Wages are stuck. A college degree no longer guarantees a higher income. The unemployment rate is stable. If you're looking for a job, you can probably find one. But job creation? Unsteady. We've heard politicians try to diagnose the problem. Outsourcing, stagnant incomes, Wall Street. We're going to suggest that a big piece of what ails America is corporate America, the historic engine of our prosperity. See, in the 1950s and 60s, we grew up in an economy ruled by big corporations like GE, General Motors, IBM. Back then, those companies offered long careers, a better life than your parents', a financial ladder to the middle class. For corporations, their customers and employees and communities came first, and often shareholders came last. Take General Electric. Here's a document explaining things to their stakeholders. But in the 70s, that kind of disclosure started to disappear. In the early 80s, it downsized 100,000 workers, closed and sold entire factories, and it launched itself into a more profitable business: finance.
In a way, companies had to. They were inefficient and suddenly exposed by global competition. Think Japanese cars.
The 1980s ramped up globalization, plus new technologies came to replace human beings. But something else has changed too: the idea of what corporations are for. Thanks to some very influential free market economists and free market politicians, the view shifted. Business schools started teaching that a corporation's only responsibility is to make as much profit as possible for shareholders. Maximize shareholder value. That's what Wall Street enforces. If you have an IRA or a 401k, you're a shareholder. You want to make as much money as possible. Naturally. A lot more Americans are shareholders than just 30 years ago.
But we tend to be quiet, passive, polite shareholders. Our money's in so many companies, we don't really care how each one operates.
But hedge funds and other investment funds are bigger shareholders, and they're louder. They're not waiting for retirement. They want to make as much money as possible right now. Fair enough.
Is there a cost to putting profits first for the noisy shareholders? You guessed it, yes. The focus on short-term gains is keeping companies from making longer-term investments, and workers suffer. It can be faster to raise profits by cutting jobs and cutting wages than investing in long-term people and long-term growth. Today, that sounds like business as usual, mainstream, a long-held business equation turned on its head.